Hello to the class of 2020. I want to remind you that when I first met you and your parents, for those of you who were joining us as first-year students, I told you that you were my favorite. Now, it may be true that I tell every class, or I did, especially when I was Dean of the Commons, that they were special to me, and that is true. But you and the transfer students that joined you to be part of the class of 2020 will actually always be my favorite, because my son is a member of the class of 2020. And when I think about his journey through his university experience and your journey through yours, no matter when or how you joined us that first few steps along the way, it makes me think about how really sad I am that we're not going to be in person this May to celebrate your graduation, just like I'm not going to be there for his graduation either. So I'm starting with something that's pretty personal. You are my favorite. You're going to be my favorite for lots of reasons moving forward. And one of them is that I'm always going to be admiring your fortitude and your courage and your patience when, frankly, the world stopped operating the way we had expected it to here this spring. It takes a really special person to accept change and disappointment. And it also takes a really special person to realize, even though we can't control the outcome right now, we're doing our best to make the world a better place. And in fact, that's why you've been my favorite since the beginning. I've seen you do that along the way. I've watched most of you do that across 3 to 4 years. And I'll really cherish the relationships that we got to have during that time. I'll cherish it even more when you come back to visit as an alumna or alumni, and we see you again at your own graduation celebration. And I'll also cherish the idea that when I see you years from now, I'm not just in the next year or so, years from now when I see you, I'll remember how it all started. And that's what I want to say to you now. Remember that it started at a time when the world needed you. We need you. All the things that you've learned along the way at Vanderbilt about how to solve problems, how to meet people where they are, how to recognize needs that other people feel even if you can't feel them yourself. All of those things are what the world needs now. And this is kind of what you've been training for. Without knowing it, we're sort of sending you out into the world to do the work that is needed urgently and will be needed in a post-pandemic world. So that's another reason you're my favorite, because you said yes, and you will say yes, and you'll say yes down the road when you hear and see about needs that you couldn't see before. And we'll all know why, because of this moment and how you turned it into your opportunity to make a difference. So good luck. You're not going to need it because you're wonderful. We all need a little break now and then, so I guess that's what I'll say. May everything break in your favor. May you remember to take rest, something we're all doing right now, to rest along the way. And may you also remember how very, very special to me and so many of us who are fortunate to get to know you here at Vanderbilt.